Okie dokie. Welcome everybody to another live pattern cutting. Just give it a few minutes for a few to pop in there to let me know if you can hear me okay. So yeah, if you can hear this, please put in the comments that you can hear me. I'm just going to post this to the Facebook page so everybody knows I'm here. Won't be able to see the screen for one moment here. Bear with me. Okay. Can't see the chat just for 2 seconds, just because I am trying to figure this out. 1 second. Here we go. I will catch up with all of you here momentarily. Sometimes I feel like I need two of me. Okay. Back to the screen. Hello, anybody out there? Please do put in the chat if you can hear me okay. Just giving it a few minutes for some to catch up. I think I'm running a minute or so ahead of everybody. Who do we have out there? Hi, Barbara. You can hear me? Perfect. Thank you so much. Sound is good and everything. Lighting is good. We're good. Dexter, don't eat your bed, baby. Dexter's eating his bed. Okay, so today I'm going to be cutting out with you the brand new pattern by SewingArtz. I'm super excited about this one. It just launched today. It is called the Meyra bag. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't have one made yet, but I do want to show you what this bag looks like. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go to her Facebook page. Let me just quickly get back there and then I will share my screen. Okay. Okay, so while I'm sharing my screen, I'm not going to be able to see the chat, but this is what we are going to be looking at. So let me just flip this over and I'll introduce you to the Meyra bag. So isn't she classy? I am so excited to make this one. So that's what it looks like on the outside. I'm going to be doing a black bag as well with a contrasting piping and a double-sided handle. So I'm going to have the black color plus my contrast color on the underside of that. So that is the front of the bag. We're going to be doing eyelets, which is a lot of fun. This is fun because this makes this an adjustable shoulder strap. So you can have it short or long and change it up as you go. So that's going to be really fun to do in the tutorial. And that's what the bottom looks like. I'm not putting purse feet on it either. This is a very narrow bottom, so the purse feet would just be too close together. So we're not going to worry about purse feet. Kind of give you a nice side view there. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Recessed zipper. It's so gorgeous. Okay, so this here, this is the same picture. It's just this is showing the slip pocket. So I'm actually going to be doing a magnetic snap instead of this snap here for mine. And then on the opposite side, we have the zipper overlay zipper pocket. Yes, so that is what we are going to be making. I'm excited for this one. I really am. I haven't done a launch in a long time, so I'm a little bit late on this launch. Who else we have there? Hi, Nicole. Hi, Tiara. Tiara from New York. Oh, no, Nicole. So, but everybody can see everything okay? We're good? Okay, let me show you what I'm going to be making this bag out of. So I'm still on a quest of trying to use up all the vinyls and all the scraps that I have in the studio before I buy more. So I'm going to be using a scrap of the black Loon, I think it's called Loon Black Canuck vinyl from Galaxy Customs. I have a 1/2 meter of this fabric, which is going to be my lining. I hope this is enough. If not, we will be doing the zipper pockets and everything with a different color, but I think this is going to be enough. And this was gifted to me from my friend Nicole, and there's no name on the salvage, so I have no idea what this is called. And for my contrast, so the piping and all that, I have some scraps of this kind of metallic vinyl from Galaxy Customs, and it is called Limeade Metallic vinyl. I don't know if she carries this anymore. I bought this about a year ago. I have like 2 more rolls of this in this scrap, so I figured, hey, let's start using that up, and I think that's going to be really, really sharp. I will also be using gunmetal hardware in the tutorial, and what else? Oh, interfacing. Now, I won't be cutting interfacing in this video because we all do our interfacings a little bit different, and we'll be using different interfacings. I will be using, for my sew foam, the Pretty and Pink sew foam from Galaxy Customs. I'll be using small pieces of or a piece of Decaville Heavy for my base stabilizer, and anywhere in the pattern where it calls for Decaville Light, I'm going to be substituting in EB Fuse Heavy, which is an Emmeline Bags product. It's a woven product similar to Decaville Light, but it just sticks so much better. I am such an EB Fuse fan. For my fabric, if you're using cotton, you will want to back it with medium woven interfacing like SF101 or EB Fuse Light. I'm actually going to back mine with EB Fuse Medium, which is similar to an 809 but woven, just to give I like my lining sometimes to feel a little bit thicker and more substantial. So I'm going to be using an EB Fuse Medium for this one. But yes, medium woven interfacing works just great. Any questions before we start cutting this out? I will be using 3/4 inch hardware, just like the pattern. I was so happy because I have very little 3/4 inch hardware, but I had enough for this, so I can use up hardware, hardware size that I hardly ever use. Awesome. Hi, Dee. Hi, Xander. Is shoe insoles good for bag stiffeners? I do not know, Xander. I'm not sure what a shoe insole is. I am very much about using foams and the Emmeline Bags EB Fuse products and the Decaville Light products. So I am not sure. I can't answer that question for you. I don't know if anybody in the chat could answer that for you. I myself have no experience with that at all. So. Okay, so just a reminder to everybody that this is shot live. It is shot in my home studio, which is not soundproof by any means. So you will hear, you might hear it already, my air conditioner is running. It's like 32 degrees. It will be 32 degrees today, so that will be working in overtime. Both my boys are home, so you may hear some action upstairs. You may hear the dogs, like Dexter's over here. Who wants to say hi to Dexter? Dexter, come here. Dexter, come say hi. Dexter, come here. You're going to bring me your robe? Come here. Here's my puppy, Dexter. My 9-month-old puppy, Dexter. So you may hear him because he likes to hang out with me in here. And, of course, Miss Coco protecting the yard. If anybody walks past that sidewalk or comes to the door, she will definitely make her presence known. So please do be kind in your comments. Again, my house isn't soundproof. And this is live, so this is how we do things here. So, yay! Any questions before we get started? Who's excited to make this bag? I'm excited. I'm excited. Hi, Dexter. So there is some raw edge work in this. Oh, and here comes Miss Coco. We'll say hi to Coco quickly. Come here, Coco. Okay, you guys don't play in here. There's Miss Coco. No, Dexter's attacking Miss Coco. Okay, let me kick them out of here right now. Okay, out you go. Out you go. No. Guys, go play upstairs. Go on, upstairs. Go on. Too rambunctious for my room, so we will just close that off. Okay, so the new format for doing the cutting videos, because I cannot share ruler measurements or anything like that, anytime that there is a ruler measurement, I will be going to the face camera like this, and you will see me cutting it out, but you're not going to be able to see my ruler and the measurements I am using. For anything that has a pattern piece, I will be going camera down so you can see the tabletop and see what I'm doing. We're lucky with this pattern because there's not that many pattern measurement pieces. There is a paper pattern piece for almost everything. Paper pattern piece, see that 10 times fast. All right. You have my fur babies, Tiara. Yeah, they are they are a going concern, that's for sure. All right, so let me get this organized, clean up my mess a little bit here, and we're going to start with the main fabric. And I may have to let Dexter in now because he is scratching at the door. 1 second. Dexter, baby, come in. Come in. Go lie down. Go lie down. Okay. All right, so let me change the view to my table view. How's that? Can everybody see everything okay? Is it bright enough? Whoops, let me just straighten this out and move some stuff out of the way. Okay, so if you've watched my cutting videos before, you will know that I like to draw the pattern pieces out on the back side of my vinyl. That way, if for some reason I don't have enough vinyl, I can go ahead and reposition all of my pieces. So I have to move this forward. Okay. I had the cameras all set up for the classes and tutorial, so they're a little bit off, so I'm just doing a little bit of adjusting. I will be using the cutting chart, which is on page 7 of the pattern. And as I go through, I will be crossing off the pieces that I make with my air erasing sew line pen. Again, the reason why I do that is I can mark up my pattern as much as I want, and then when I go to make it again, the pen marks are gone with no effort from me. They just disappear after a day or so. So a lot easier for me than to go through and erase or whatever. I used to laminate and use like a dry erase pen, but this just works so much better. Alrighty, so let me grab my pen. Now, I just use a regular ballpoint pen to mark on the back of my fabric. Anna of Galaxy Customs gave us a great tip to use a charcoal pencil on the back. I think I am going to go and purchase myself some of those from the dollar store maybe later on today. If you're using a ballpoint pen like me, make sure your vinyl is thick enough and it is not going through to the other side, and do not use a ballpoint pen if you're doing it out of fabric. But I am doing it out of vinyl. We're going to start with pattern piece. The first one, the front panel. So I have my pattern piece here. And I am going to go ahead, and it says I need 2 of these. And these are the ones I am doing in black. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out 2 of these. So maybe I'll do them this way. Okay. And I just draw them out. Now where it says on the fold here, because I'm going to flip my pattern piece over. So my admins always make fun of me because I call them blip blips. So I do a little blip and a blip just at that halfway mark and finish drawing around the opposite side. And then I flip it over and I match up where those little blip blip marks were with the pattern piece like so. And you can see this is a prime example why I draw on the back first, because look at my vinyl's hanging over. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to redo that. So ignore those first lines, because this is a scrap piece. Some of my ends are not even, so that didn't line up very good. Okay, take 2 of drawing out the front and back panels. There's Coco saying hi because people are walking by. Okay, so there's that half, and then I'm going to line up those little blips. Draw out my second one. And I'm just going to kind of scribble through these lines so they don't confuse me when I go to cut this out later. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do the second one. Should work good there. Then once they're all drawn out, we will cut them out. There are very minimal pieces to this pattern, which is very nice. So I'm hoping it's a quick cutout. We will find out here momentarily. Flip it over, draw the other half. And I'm going to label these front and back. And then on my pattern piece, I can go ahead and I can cross off 1 and 2. Okay, so that pattern piece is done. The next thing for the exterior is the side panel. And we will need to draw 2 of these. I'm just going to go ahead and draw it right here. I love the different shapes that SewingArtz has in her bag. I want to eventually do all of her bags. I just need more time in the day. So again, I'm just tracing out the pattern. Okay, that's one. The pattern piece says I need 2, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second one. And I'm not going right to the very end because I do have a selvage there on some of it. Hey Dexter, there's Coco saying hi again. How is everybody today? Side, side. Okay, so put that aside. Cross it off on my list. 2 side panels done. And then I need a bottom piece. Beep beep Dex. And this is what I'm talking about, how small the bottom is. This is why we are not going to do purse feet. So I'm going to put my bottom piece right here. It's a super, super small bottom, but you can kind of see why, because it's going to be attaching to the bottom of these side pieces here. So 1 outer fabric, it says on the pattern piece. Here's my blips, flip it over, match up those blips, and finish drawing it out. And that's my bottom, teeniest, tiniest bottom, and that is done. Okay. Next we have our, where are we? Your strap suspension. So this is where this pattern has a We're going to be using eyelets as well as buckles, and it's going to make our strap adjustable. So that is what this piece is for. This is going to end up going through there. Just kind of give you an idea of what it's doing. It's quite a new technique. Now I'm going to cut these out a little bit different. I am going to draw out 2 of them that are this shape. And then I'm just going to do 2 rectangles that are larger than that. And when we get into the tutorial, you will see why. It's because we're going to be putting the wrong sides together and sewing them around. And then you can just use this main piece to cut out that second one so they end up perfect. I like to do that way because I will edge paint these so they have a nice and perfect and smooth edge. So again, we'll draw out 2 of these. And then I'll show you what I mean in a moment. And again, this pattern uses 3/4 inch hardware. If you wanted to switch to 1 inch, you probably could, but you'd have to adjust these pieces. Nicole's excited for this bag. Hi, Marianne. There's Coco saying hi. Nicole's trying to get going this morning, just eating breakfast, so you're full of it. I am full of energy. Yes, I have been up since 4:45 this morning. I've already been working since 7 a.m. and it's now 10 o'clock. I do have to take my son for minor surgery on his toe today, so I'm trying to get this all done before then. Okay, and then another one just like that. And then I'm hoping to get back this afternoon and start sewing up and filming the tutorial for this so I can get it up by the end of this week for sure, which I think would be great. Busy, busy week. So this was kind of a last minute tutorial, and Mana, the designer, approached me and showed it to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just love all of her designs. And when I saw this one, I just had to do it. So, okay, so now we want to do a rectangle that's slightly bigger than those 2 pieces. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm just going to draw one out here because I will be gluing those pieces wrong sides together on top of that. So you just got to make sure that you can fit 2 of these in. And yeah, so this is a strap connector, I guess. Con for connector. Okay. So in the pattern it says to cut out 4 of these, but again, I do a square and then I will cut them out once I have sewn them all together, and you will see what I mean when we get into the tutorial. So I can say our 4 strap suspensions are done. And now we're going to do our zipper panel. And these are super duper teeny tiny zipper panels because our gusset is not very wide. So we need to do 2 outer fabric of this and 2 inner fabric of it. So let's draw out our 2 outer and we will get to the lining later. Okay. How do I want to do it? I'm trying to figure out the best way to use up. I'm actually going to do it right here, I think. No, I'm going to do it down here. I'm trying to get the best use out of my vinyl so I have big chunks left for other projects. So we need 2 of these. Do your blip blips. Flip it over, match it up. You could also measure this piece if you wanted to do a ruler cut with it. That's actually probably what I would normally do, but I can't give measurements out. So when I have pattern pieces for a cutting video, it's just better so you guys can see what I'm doing. There's one. That doesn't look very straight, Brandy. Let's fix that up a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to do the second one, and I'm going to share that line, so that'll be 1 rotary cut for me. May only save like 2 seconds, but 2 seconds is 2 seconds. my lips. Line it up. These look kind of messy. I may have to straighten them up, but they're fine. Okay, zip, zip. And again, we'll need this pattern piece. I'm going to put it back over here for now because we will be cutting out our lining pieces for that. Zipper panel, 2. And what's called the strap carrier, which is actually our handle. So I'm actually gonna, am I gonna do that? No, we'll just do it on this side here. So let's see if I have enough length here. So this is an example where I'm going to put the camera up because I can't give out these measurements, and I am going to draw out this handle with my ruler. Now, keep in mind that this is, whoopsies, a 3/4 inch strap, so you will be doing it in a 3-inch strip. I am doing it a little different because I'm going to be doing a double-sided strap. So to do that, I will be doing the black fabric or the black vinyl in a 1.5 inch width, because half of that is 3/4 of an inch. And then in my contrast vinyl, I will be doing the same thing in 1.5. And again, I have tutorials on how to do double-sided straps in my Bagmakers 101 playlist, but I'm cutting this one just slightly different because of that reason, because I want to be doing double-sided strap, because I want that color to come through on the handle. I think that'll be super sharp. So follow the length that you will be doing this and whichever strap option you like to do. So, oh, there's Coco. So I'm going to draw this out. I got to do math in my head. Oh my goodness, Coco. I think I have a delivery. Okay. So I think this works good for a way to still be able to do a cutting video without giving away too much of what the measurements are, because you can still see me drawing out, you just can't see the sizes I'm doing. So I'm also going to put the halfway mark of the width of the strap to make it easier for when we go to make the straps. Just saves us a step later on. Seeing as we're already here drawing it on, we may as well do our dotted line down the center. Okay, so I'll have to remember I have to do this exact same thing with my contrast fabric or my double-sided straps. Alrighty. So let me go back down to the table. Oh, what have I done? I hit my camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. How long was the camera like that? Hopefully not for too long. Okay, so you can see here, I've drawn out the one strap. Again, mine isn't as wide because I am doing it double-sided. You will be doing yours to 3-inch width if you are doing it to the length that it specifies in the pattern. So that is my strap carrier done. And then, actually, I've got one more piece I have to draw with this. I'm trying to decide. No, I'm going to do it in black. Okay, I'm not deciding anymore. Okay, so one more thing to do in the black fabric is the pattern piece labeled contrast striped top inside. So this is the part on the lining side of the bag that'll be above the zipper panel, and I like it to be nice and fluid with what the exterior fabric is. So then below the recessed zipper is where you will see the lining fabric. So we got that piece. So we need 2 of these, one for each side of the bag. Let's see if I plan this out good. Oh yeah, that works good. I could probably do it right here. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna fit it into this little hole here. So this is my fold line. Right here, so I'm going to do my little blip blips so I know where to place my pattern piece. That's one side. And again, you can do this in cotton as well. Well, it's going to be kind of weird here, but that's okay. Match up your blip blips and draw out the other side. Okay, that's one. And get the other one. How do I want to do this? And I'm trying not to have too much scrap, and I kind of did these funky angles. But have it here. Nope. I'll do it right here. Why not, right? Did I do that right? Yeah. I don't know if there's a method to my madness. In my head there is. Okay, match up my flip flips there again. I'm just trying to have minimal waste. I don't know if I'm succeeding this time, but that's okay. I'm committed. I'm not going to redraw them. Not today. Now the only thing I have left to draw for this exterior, so this is contrast stripe, is my contrast. One sec here. I obviously can't do two things at once. How I do my lining pockets. So my lining pockets I will probably be doing different than what's in the pattern, because my lining pockets I like to be consistent with in all of my bags. I do all of my linings the same. So I will be doing my zipper overlay. There is actually a zipper overlay for this one as well, but I'm not using the same shape as her pattern piece. I'm using the one that I keep in all of my bags, as well as I'm going to be doing a kind of a vinyl binding type thing on the top of my slip pocket. So I'm not going to cut those with you guys today because they're not what's in the pattern. They are just a Brandy thing. So if you want to see what I mean for my inside lining pockets, I do have classes on those in the description under the Bagmakers 101 playlist, or you can go ahead and cut them out as per the pattern. So that is all we need for the exterior besides those pieces, which I will cut off camera. And now we're going to go in and we are going to cut this out. So I'm just going to kind of do a roundabout cut for this just to get all of this excess off of here. I think we did pretty good with our pattern piece placement, so I have a good chunk of scrap for the next project. Vinyl's expensive. You definitely don't want to be wasting it if you don't have to, so that is exactly why I like to draw on the back. You don't have to. This is just the way I do it. So this here I'm actually going to put back in my bin back here because I'm going to be cutting another piece that matches this in the accent fabric. So I'm going to be using this as a template. So I'm going to put that back there so it reminds me I have to cut another piece. And I'm just going to kind of go around here just so I can get rid of this excess and only be cutting what needs to be cut. Okay. So I have a good chunk of this left over for the next project. I got a good amount left for a crossbody strap even, so that makes me happy, and I can put this in my scrap pile for another project. Hi Dawn, we'll forgive you for being late, no big deal. Just kidding. Okay. So we'll continue with the cutting of this out. I am a rotary cutter girl. You can definitely go ahead and use scissors if you wanted to. I will actually be using scissors to cut out these ones because I got to keep that shape really, really good, and it's really hard to get those curves with a rotary cutter. So, okay, so this one is just rough because that is our piece, and I'm going to show you here what I meant, what I was trying to explain earlier that we will be doing with the connectors. So I'm going to go ahead. That honk honk, that was my friend Nadia driving by. She always honks when she drives past my house. So this is what I was saying. We got the shape of these connectors, and we will be gluing or taping them wrong sides together like so, and then top stitching them together, and then using this piece to cut it out so they're nice and even and have a great side for edge painting if you want to do it. Now edge painting is always, it's never mandatory. I love edge painting. I find it very relaxing. So I look forward to edge painting things, and I think it just gives it a really nice finished look. But it's definitely nothing that is mandatory. It just adds that little something something to the bag, in my opinion. Nice and straight. Okay. So I will put all of these together with the pattern piece. Where'd my pattern piece go? And I don't need to cut any more pieces with this pattern piece, so I will put this in the done pile. Okay, next. Move the camera up just a little bit. There we go. Sorry, guys. So I bonked it apparently. Moved it. It's one of those. Once I get back from taking my son to the doctor, I will be doing the cutting videos for our class bags that are coming up in August, so I can get those tutorials made this week as well. It's a busy, busy, busy week for me, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to take these two pieces. They are done. Hi, Dexter. Put them with the pattern piece and put them in my done with cutting pile. Okay, this is all the scrap that's going in the garbage so far. That's pretty darn good, I think. Bottom piece. I like to show you like that big chunk of scrap that I put away already. That is definitely still a good working piece of fabric, so that's good. But I like to kind of keep a pile to show you the minimal scrap when you go to draw this out. There's my bottom piece. Where's my pattern piece for that? Keep it together. Now on the bottom piece, there is a pattern piece for the deckable heavy. You would cut out the deckable heavy or the Peltex piece, and then you would fuse it. She's kind of got a dotted line where you would fuse it on the back of this outside of the seam allowances. Okay. Zipper panels. Grab my pattern piece for that. I've got pattern pieces all over the place here. Where did that pattern piece go? Did I lose it? Bear with me. I have misplaced it. Okay, I'm going to have to find that. I don't know where I put it. So I'll just clip these together for now. It must have fallen on the floor somewhere. Where did you go? It's all good. Bottom, bottom. It must have floated away somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, bear with me. Okay. There we go. So what I was trying to say, I'm going to keep these together and I'm going to put this back into my to be cut pile with the lining pattern pieces, because we will clip the lining pieces together with this as well. Okay, so far, not too bad for waist, that's it. And we have the 4 main panels left to cut out. There's one. This has got to make sure I follow the right lines, because I started drawing it and I drew it wrong. Make sure I'm cutting along the right lines. See, it's not a really big bag. This is the main panel. Compared, I have very small hands, so it's going to be super cute. Which line am I following here? Double check. Okay, this line here. And around. And find my pattern piece, so they can stay together and I know what's what. Put that in my done pile. So far, so good for scrap, but that is it. That's one of the sides. Oh, I feel sniffly. The smoke outside for the fires here in BC is getting to me today. Holy, my allergies are just in full blown hating me. We have fires burning all around us once again this summer. Okay, so there's my 2 exterior side pieces. I'm going to put them together. Okay, so for vinyl going in the garbage, this is it. I don't think that's too bad. I think that's pretty darn good, actually. Throw that in my garbage can here. And then we will get to, as I give myself a little bit of a nose blow, our accent vinyl. Okay. Let's update this. I did my contrast stripe top inside. Okay, so we're still working with exterior. Okay, so it looks like she does the slip pocket on the inside in vinyl as well, but I think I am going to, I think I'm going to do my entire slip pocket as the lining panel, the lining fabric, because I'm going to put a vinyl accent on top, which isn't part of the pattern. That is just something I like to do. So, working with the accent. Let me see. Okay, so piping wise, I'm going to be making my own piping. I might have to figure out, let's see, 32, let me see how much is in here. So we're going to need 2 pieces of piping. And I think I'm going to be able to use these pieces to do it. I need to do math. What's my math? Where's my phone? Oh no, we need 2 pieces at 32. Okay, so do you know what? I'm not going to be able to use the scrap as I thought for this. I'm going to have to use my full roll. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put this to a screen up. Face up, because I'm going to do my measurements for the opposite side of my double-sided strap. Again, I'm doing it to a 1.5 wide because I'm doing it double-sided. That's slightly different than in the pattern. Draw this out. So you want to do it to the length that's written in the pattern. It's very important to do it to that length because we are making an adjustable strap with those eyelets. Now if you didn't want to do that, well, the buckle is kind of a great accent piece of this, so you could completely omit the buckle if you wanted to, but I think it makes the bag myself. I think it's an awesome addition. Just gotta bit uneven of the cut here. Okay, so that's my strap piece. Now for my piping, you will have to do the piping the length that it is in the pattern if you're making your own vinyl piping, which I will be doing, and I will show you how to do that in the tutorial. I get to use my piping fit again. I'm so excited. So we have a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, I believe, in this. Because it doesn't tell you it's all based on what your piping is inside. So I'm using, I think it's a 5/32 inch, I think, piping from Galaxy Customs. Oh, sorry, 4/32. I'll show you the cording I'm using. That's the piping cording I'm going to be using in this. Okay, now I'm trying to remember 3/8 of an inch, or it's a 1/4 of an inch. I'm trying to think of the piping around the sides to match the seam allowance. So I'm just going to double check in the pattern that at this point it is 3/4 of an inch, or 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, to decide how wide I have to cut my piping vinyl to make it. It's a 1/4 of an inch. Okay. So I am going to cut mine Don't quote me on this. I wish Anna was in here because she's the pro of this, but I think if I cut my my piping pieces to 1 1/8 inch. That'll be perfect when I make it with this cording to have a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance along the part that we'll be sewing to the bag. Yeah, Nicole, that was for a, maybe you can help me with the math. So that 1 1/4 inch that Anna said was for a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, but this is a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So I think if I take 1/8 of an inch off of that 1 1/4, it'll give us the 1/4 inch. Is my thinking right? Because it's a 1/4 of an inch, not a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance that we want. So I'm thinking 1 1/8 will do that for me if my math serves my head right. Sometimes it's better to have it a little bit bigger because then you can always trim that seam allowance off. But I think 1 1/8 will just shave off. Does it? Am I thinking right, you guys? 3/8. I think so. We're going with it. Four, 5, 6, and 8. I think 1 1/8 will be fine. But thank you for that, Dawn. I think we'll be good with this. Again, it all depends on how thick your piping cording is, right? So, and I'll draw the center line down these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. I just can't math today is all. Oh, 1/8 off of both sides. Oh, that's true. Okay, let's go. We'll go 1 1/4 because it's better to have too much than not enough, right? 1 1/4. There we go. One and a quarter. Perfect. That'll work. Okay, so I guess it would have to be somewhere in between that 1/8 and a quarter. So I'm just going to go 1 1/4, and if I need to trim it up, I'll trim it up. Thank you guys. I appreciate the help. And you can also, of course, use pre-made piping if you wanted to. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just marking my center down those for when I make my piping. So you will need 2 lengths of whatever you have figured out your width to be based on how thick your piping cording is. My piping tutorial wouldn't help because I actually used 1/4 of an inch cotton piping in it, so it would change the measurements altogether again. So you gotta math and figure it out. But yes, follow the pattern to know the length of the piping you need. That's the number I couldn't share with you guys. So that is done. My piping is done. And my strap is done. And I think that is all I need from this accent fabric. So I didn't use up my scrap and I cut into another roll. How about that? You may also want to use in this, if you're not going to be using the rectangular rings for the loop for your straps to go through, I'm going to be using a rectangular ring for that, but you could definitely make a loop, and you may want to cut it in this or in that accent fabric. So completely up to you. Okay, so let's get this to table down again and cut this out. So I kind of failed at using up scrap, but hey, I think this is going to look really good. I said I still have 2 more rolls of this vinyl, so it will get used because it's a yummy, yummy metallic green color, and you know how I feel about green. Okay. So put that with the rest of that scrap. Here's my double-sided strap. So I can put this with my other strap, and I think that's going to look super sharp with that being the underside of the strap. Again, this isn't part of the pattern, this is just my vision. Okay, and the piping. Okay, I'll be making my own piping with that and the cording. And that is it for that accent fabric. Now we're on to the lining fabric. Hopefully I have enough of this. So because I only have like a 1/2 meter of this, I'm going to cut all of my main pieces first just to make sure I have enough. It is directional, so I want to make sure I'm cutting it in the right direction. Okay, so it says we need our lower front panel. Lower front panel, and I can see, no, I gotta make sure, because it's directional fabric, I gotta cut it in the same way. So I gotta decide which way is my direction here. I'm thinking this way is. So I wanna make sure my pattern piece is facing the right way. Which way do I want to be the top and which way to the bottom? That way? Is this the right way? I think that'll work. I want to do it this way. It is beautiful fabric. Hey, Dawn, my friend Nicole gave this to me out of her stash. Okay, so again, I'm making sure that I'm going to have these going the same direction. I'm not sure which is top or which is bottom. I just want to make sure it's going the right way for all the pieces, so we don't have one upside down and one not. And I think I'm going to be able to fit both of these pieces here, which is good. I'm not going to cut them at the same time because I need to make sure that they're going in the same direction. So I have it on the fold here. Okay, that's one. And again, I am going to be backing these with an EB Fuse medium because I want a stiffer inside. So you definitely want to do it with a medium woven interfacing, SF101 or EB Fuse Lite for sure. And if your machine can handle it, go for a little heavier one even. But again, that's just a preference thing for me. I'm watching to make sure I'm not getting my selvage in there because that wouldn't look pretty. And two. One and two. I'm making sure that my print is facing the same direction, which is what is important to me. And I will put this into the to be interfaced pile. Okay, so I can cross off lower front and lower back panels. Next, we're going to need the zipper panels. So we've already got the two exteriors. Now we need to do the two lining And I'm going to try to use up some of this scrap right here. Place this on the fold. Am I going to be able to get both of these out of here? Look at that. I will be able to. Sweet. So I'll cut one first, placing this on the fold. Teeniest, tiniest of zipper panels. I'm not worried about the direction for the zipper panel because it's going to be on, for the print, because it's going to be on the underside and you're not going to really see it. So that is one. I think this is the tiniest zipper panel I will ever have worked with. And the second one fits perfectly. It's like it was meant to be. Oh, you like my top, Dawn? I actually made this. It's a sundress. I made this years ago and I have finally lost enough weight that it fits me again. So I made this for myself pre-surgery that I had in 2019, and I had gained some weight due to that surgery. And the weight is finally falling off, and some of my old clothes and my old makes are finally fitting in. This is an Ellie and Mac pattern. I don't remember what it's called. I want to say it's the Sweetheart, but that might not be it. But it's an Ellie and Mac pattern. And I actually shortened it up a bit, so I wear a pair of capri leggings with it just because. All right, so that's my two zipper panels. Again, my fabric I will be interfacing. And also our zipper panels, do we interface them? Let me look. I think I saw something. Yes, so our zipper panel on the back of the vinyl pieces, there is also a Decovil light piece to be cutting out to put outside of the seam allowances in that, and I will be using EB Fuse Heavy for that. Thank you, Dawn. I actually had to look to see what I was wearing, so it's nice when some of your old favorites actually start fitting again, so I'm very happy. Okay, so that is my zipper panel done. Next I have my bottom panel, bottom lining panel. One inner fabric, again, is super teeny tiny. And I don't think I'm too worried about direction for the bottom either, so I'm just going to put it where it fits. Look at that. Isn't that tiny? It's a teeny tiny piece, but it'll fit good there. Put it on the fold and cut it out. And yes, I did not change my rotary cutter blade, as you can tell. Okay, so there's my lining bottom piece. Again, that'll be interfaced. I'm going to have leftover this too, my goodness. Okay, side panel, lining side panel pieces. So I want to make sure this is going directional. So the top is the wider side. And I want to make sure it's going the same direction as my main pattern pieces were. So I'm going to just make sure it's going the same direction. I'm going to cut both at the same time by folding this up, making sure the wider side is to the top. Put it right there and cut both at the same time at the as I have these folded on top of each other. So we'll do both at the same time. You can do them separate as well. I'm just all about getting it done as fast as I can. Okay, so those are my two side panels. Again, the top of the fabric, if using directional, goes towards the wide top. Keep those together. So that is my side panels done. Next we have the slip pocket. So this is the one that in the pattern, I am going to use this shape. They do one outer and one inner, but I'm actually going to do two inners because my top, I'm actually going to be doing it my way and adding in an accent, which I think I may actually, I might actually do my zip. I don't know. Should I do it in black for my accents on the lining, or should I do it in this green? What do you guys think? For my zipper pocket overlay and for my binding for the top of this. Should I do it in the metallic or should I do it in the black? You tell me. Kind of nice to do in the black because it brings some of the outside inside the bag, but what do you guys think? Oh, that doesn't quite fit. Okay, so my slip pocket again is directional, so I want to make sure it's going to the top. And I need 2 of them, so I will cut them separate. Here's the first one. Same color as the piping? Okay. So yes, I will do that. That'll be cut off camera because I do that different than the pattern. So you guys can do it however you like to do yours as well. My second pocket. So there's my 2 slip pockets. Aren't they adorable? And these will be interfaced as well. What else do we have? Slip pocket, and then our inner zipper pocket. So I have to put this back up to my face because you guys can't see the measurements here. And we need 2 lining pieces for our inner zipper pocket, and they are ruler cuts. How do I want to do these? Okay. I'm gonna have some stuff left here, maybe for a, actually I'll probably do it this way. Zipper pouch or something later on. Go across this way. SewingArtz is awesome, isn't it, Dawn? She's a very, very talented designer, that's for sure. Okay. So yes, cut out your lining zipper pockets as per the pattern piece. Oh, there it is. 2 of them. So I'm folding my fabric in on itself again and cutting both at the same time. All right. So I can put this back down to the table. So there's my 2 lining zipper panels, which will also be interfaced. Okay. And that is it. So all that's left to cut out is, if you're doing lining pockets like me, doing those accent pieces like I will be doing off camera, as well as cutting out your interfacing, your deckable lights, and there's pattern pieces for that, and for your deckable heavy or EB Fuse heavy, and then your foam as well for the main stabilizer of the bag. What do you guys think? It's actually a pretty quick cutout. I still have this much. This will go in my scrap bin. This will be able to be used for something. So it didn't even use half a meter. It's just, it's amazing. Great scrap buster for something that looks really good, I think. So yeah. Hi, Kim. So what did you guys think of that? Do you like these cutting tutorials done live? I think this is the best way to do them. Of course, the ones that are for classes or for launches will be pre-recorded, but I think this is a lot of fun, and then I can go through and answer questions or what have you. So yay. Any questions or concerns or comments? I have a crooked sign back there. That's my dream that we should do it. Look how crooked it is. That's annoying. I live not too far from the train tracks, so things gradually kind of go off kilter. All right, everybody, so I have to leave here in about half an hour to take my son for his little surgery he's having done. And yeah, this afternoon when I get back, I will be working on starting this tutorial, and I'm hopeful to have this tutorial up by the end of the week for everybody. Again, it's a brand new pattern by SewingArtz. I will show everybody again what it looks like in case you missed the very beginning. So let me share my screen with you momentarily. I figured this was the easiest way to show it. So this is what we are making. The Meyra by SewingArtz. It was just launched today. So this is what we just cut out. Again, once again, so excited to be able to play with my piping foot. Yay! That is it. That is all. Oops, I lost my mouse. There it is. Okay, so how long have we been in here? I don't know. About an hour or so to cut out. Probably could have been faster. So yeah. Anyways, I am going to let you guys all go. Thank you for joining me for cutting this out today. I appreciate all of you, and stay tuned for hopefully before the weekend, but at least by the weekend we will have this tutorial all ready for you guys to watch. All right, I can't wait to see all of your guys' Meyras once you have them done. Make sure you post them in my Facebook group. That is linked down below in the description. If you haven't already, please do join. I sometimes get coupon codes from designers there, so you can definitely see them there. Dexter's trying to dig his way to China over there, I think. He's digging on his bed. Alrighty, so thank you everybody. Again, please do like this video. If you're watching this after the fact, what should our emoji be today? If you got this far and you're watching this after the live, or even if you're watching this during the live, let's put a sunflower, because it's my favorite flower, in the comments, so I know you made it this far. That's okay, Kim. You can go back and watch it and then put your sunflower in there. Okay, everybody, thanks again, and I will catch you guys on the next one.